a review of the LupinKaiser from Kaitu Sentai Lupin Ranger, and then probably might be Keisu Sentai Pat Ranger, but no Pat Kaiser. But so the reason I didn't do the video of the footage of the red dial fighter is because there is one thing that you have to place the stickers, that's something inside. So I wasn't due on this part right here, which I already did the rest of them for that case. And normally I just wouldn't notice if you could put the stickers inside of something. I'll get to it why, but I don't know if this will be better to take parts and some of that, but this will be mostly the problem, this one. But although to be honest, I kind of like the designs of the Lupin Ranger versus Pacha Ranger line. Well, this is Lupin Ranger, so this is robbers of the kinds of weird designs of planes, kinda with little each dial fighters. I mean, the dial combination locker on top of the planes, which just doesn't fit well to have robbers. If they're like for Lupin Ranger, if they say robbers, they're not actually dressing up like thieves or robbers. They're dressing up like magicians, or kind of like magic that from Mystic Force or Power Rangers Mystic Force, also known as Manji Ranger. That is kind of similar like that, and similar as Gokaiger. So they could be like pirates and magic together for Lupin Ranger. They're not like robbers at all. That I couldn't figure out. They kind of be like robbers. They are like robbers, but they don't look like it. They act like that. But anyway, so I will have to go with the yellow one. Or first off, I will go with the yellow one. So I'm gonna take these apart because there's something that I want to go over first. Alright, so I'm gonna go over with this one too. So anyways, this is the yellow dial fighter. It's probably my least favorite of the bunch because it has some weird turbines that I wasn't too big of a fan of, and then has some looking weird cockpit with the combination locker that can either turn, but there's nothing special to go on. And then my lights doesn't even like come after. I would definitely turn on the lights for sure, but I would actually do that, so I'll be right back. That's better if you think. So is how it is. And then I just placed up the stickers. Like I said, I do not want to record this to place this sticker on it. So and then they have this little thing piece that it can help us move, but it's kind of weird to do that. I wish it can do something that can turn easier, because my hands are sweaty. It's very hard to turn this little dial fighter. So it's very hard to turn, but you got used to it to turn it if you're having a hard time. So that is a reason for that, but it's kind of weird, and I'm not really a fan of this little piece here sticking out from a dive fighter. But I actually like the saw blade, kind of. I mean, it doesn't, I mean works well or not quite sure. It can just move a bit, so there you have that. And one thing to know that I'll get to it this part, the last one, because it's gonna be the same thing in each dial fighter except the Ghost Striker. So there you have that. So I'm gonna leave here. So let's look at the blue dial fighter. And I'm not really a huge fan of this weird ass airplane. because kind of like it's just almost close to like a bird. It's not like an actual jet plane, even though I do like the little machine guns that could blast back, so in case like if you're in danger or something, so you can see in front. And this, and no spinning, free moving around. So I'm just not too fan of it. Looks like this thing pieces looks like a shark kinda. I placed the, yeah, and like I said, I just placed the stickers because I would definitely glad that Mini-Pla figures that Bandai ever decides to put stickers on it, because if they don't, then painting will not be the best thing in the world. Or I mean, painting is not the best thing that I could ever been good at, to paint toys and all that plastic, because they're tiny plastics, and I would try my best to paint on this, but I'm very glad they do with stickers, because if paintings will be going to be just like looking horrible, and then I might mess this up for the figure. So yeah, they still have this piece which I'm not really a fan of for this dial fighter, but it's a helping thing to make it turn. I mean, so I could make a combination like moving locker kinda, but it can be work or not, depends on your hands, like how you've been feeling for. So there you have that. And now let's look at the one of the most problem is the red dial fighter. I kind of like the way this thing looks. It looks neat and looks really actual for how it is. I'm just not a fan of this little the combination lockers like these two does. So I'm not really a fan of this. So, but I like how like it's gonna be almost going to be good, not like with the rest of weird these two does. So it's how it is. I mean it's fine. I mean, it's not my too big of, I mean, they do have the round pin, which is nice. I wish they could do other dial fighters, and they could also turn like this. And here's a problem that when I'm turning something, I'll get to a minute. And another problem is that mine the green sticker paint is not really going to stick like forever. Maybe a couple months or couple hours will be coming off easier. So I'm too afraid that it's gonna come off, and then it's almost about to peel off here, and that's mostly the problem. So anyways, so for this, they don't actually clip into place. They just holds it, because I get why, because you might have a hard time to gain out. So I think it works quite a bit, but it's not the best. So there's some little edge right here, and let's see, it goes right hinge here, and what will just happen is that you're gonna go wrap it around here, as you can see, and then click on the other side too. And there you go. And then what will happen is that when you have the VS changer, that you just push the little long thing that I don't know what it is, and then you just turn it. Once you like, oh wait, actually you don't have to turn it. Like, it was like this thing that you had to slide this in, and then you grab it, and then you begin to turn it which direction that Loop Ranger's on top and Power Ranger's on the bottom. And then you just, it doesn't like make the dial turn for candy toys, it makes like the DX versions. I mean, I would think if the DX version can be better to turn it as it is. I mean, but I like Mini-Pla figures because because when I first saw it, when like in my eye, because is the LupinKaiser set is kind of boring, even though they have electronics and does the dial fighter that can control it by you or and myself, and because it has gimmicks then. But Candy Toys, you had to make yourself to make a gimmick. So, and then you first turn it and then you push the trigger for like any activation noise for slide, and then you just, you know, so that's a good way to do so. Yeah, so you won't click this one in because sometimes you have a hard time getting out of it. So there you go. So yeah, so now let's move out to the side and let's bring the Path Striker, the Lupin Ranger ones, the Lupin Ranger side, because one has wings on it and then it shows some really nice teeth on it. And Good Striker, it's pretty good on the Candy Toy, but the DX version looks kind of like ruined, but it's still the same that you've been asking me. It's the same, you know. Good Striker is kind of the same, but only difference how it looks kind of small. So it doesn't roll well on mine, probably the table on this cloth right here doesn't not really affect to roll around, so it's not too bad. I mean, Good Striker has been decent, so it's a decent look to it. And there's something to know that this thing will plug this in, and then let's see, I think these two hips around that will wrap around here, and then these back of bits will go on between them, the side in the middle and between the wings right here, that will clip it on here, and then you just gotta hold on. Why this isn't working? Wait, actually, wait. I think it's the other side. Actually, no, that I'm wrong. This side is supposed to be oh man, I messed up. Here, the peg will goes on this hip right here. That will goes wrap to clip it in here, and then on this back we'll clip it on right on the back next to the wing. So, but it's kind of tricky thing to do, so you just gotta clip this in until you get to it, and then it's kind of hard to do, especially because you have these pegs to get in the way, so you have a hard time to do that, and it fell. You just gotta grab one and into another. If I actually do it, and it's kind of hard to do. You just gotta land inside of it. Come on. What the hell is wrong with this? Oh, man. It took time to do so. There you go. So that's how you do it that way to clip it in. You slide this in, and I'm not sure if it makes the activation noise. I think every candy toy, because it doesn't really have the pins to land to it, like this one, like all including, which is basically the same of the shape to plug this in. Well, the DX version, it has the different noises of the colors. So anyways, so that is that. And then for Loop Ranger, you just leave the wings on and then have the face reveal. Like you slide in and then grab it and then push lift flip up to make it on top the gun, and then you push the trigger and there you go. You just fly off saying like good, like good, like does. And sometimes it does happen, so make sure you press harder enough, but it doesn't work so much. And that might be a hard time to get now, so you have to like yank it out easier, or just pull up like that, and there you go. So anyways, I'm not gonna bother of these two pieces together because the pieces can be not worth placing the VS changer, but if I do have one, I'll show you to make the noises for Ghost Striker and the rest of the Dire Fighters. So now you have the Dire Fighters and the Ghost Striker. So you have here, you have here. So I'm just really glad that I placed the stickers, which is really neat to do so. There you go. So let's combine together. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna take the yellow one, you're just gonna bring this down, and then you turn it to have an ankle on this hand, and then you close it, the little wings. So yeah, it's a decent arm. It's not too huge of it. I like the saw blade. That's what I like for. That's the only thing I like about. For the blue ones, it's you bring this down, you turn it that way that this little pincy shark can point it back, and then bring a little bit amount of little machine guns, and then bring the wings down here, and then turn it as possible to have a peg of the combination of the Megazord mode. The same thing as one that you want to. So you push this in. There you have the arms quite a bit. And here's the problem one. You push this, you pull this down, and then hold on, let's see. Yeah, here's the problem. So when I first turn this, the face just doesn't do as I let it move until maybe whether or not, I mean it doesn't like to like see it actually turns if you saw it. So what will happen is that you will have to make the head turn to force it in, but you can't like make it whatever you want as you force it. So that's another problem. The head decides where it want you to turn it, because I don't like that this sticking piece sticks out, which is looking weird. So I did try to fix it a little bit to push it in, or take the dial fighter out and then make it look better, but it doesn't really work at all. It just turns, but I'd rather just not let it break, because I feel like I'm just almost about to break. So that is another problem for the red dial fighter a bit. So, and oh fuck. Sometimes it stops once I turn it. So that's the canyon blaster that it can shoot out kinda, or kinda like almost like revealing the 3 rangers with a cockpit and then the good striker puppet right there. So anyways, so now let's combine it together. I'm gonna bring this back here. And now for good striker, you're just gonna flip this down, and then you're gonna gotta bring my phone up. You're just gonna bring this, and then you might have to hear it click just a bit. And sometimes it does come off very easier, which is very shame. I don't know why it's supposed to do that for that way. Anyways, there's a hole and a peg that you can clip around here. The same thing on the other side, and yeah, and you only had to like pull out the DX version. The DX version, you will have to like there's a button of the windshield that you can just pull it out and like extend them. Like you hear it click, like it start to like jump out the windshield, and if you had to push it in to make it unlock, and then push it all the way through to make a windshield go back, making like pop up. So that is the DX version that they do that, but you just gotta pull it out and hear it click, and then if you want to push it in, and probably you feel click or not, but you still gotta push it, but not too much. And then yeah, you just split the legs and then fold both of them at the same time, extend them, and there you have the all body all complete. And yeah, let me raise my phone. My phone is not like the best part. So anyways, you just gotta bring this down. It doesn't lock into place, it just brings down like that. I mean, I wish it has something to click into place. It just doesn't lock in, because the reason that I want that, because when I pull out the black tab, it also joins to brings it up. So that's another issue. So I mean I do like how the candy toys is that it's too much problems. So anyways, you just gotta like maybe if I'm not clipping it right, probably, or maybe the legs isn't straight, probably if the foot is not like make it straight. So bring this, well, there you go. So you just gotta plug this in right here. There's some little hole that can plug it in the peg right here, and then the same thing to the blue one. And he's starting to get a little big, but and then you're just gonna, there's some red little circle thing and then little black peg. You're just going to, in the show you're just gonna drop it down when you hear it clip, and then it won't turn it, and then you have the little face there. Sometimes when I want to make it turn, but sometimes it stops until it really decides that the face will move itself. So that's really unfortunate on mine, but I don't know, it is what it is, how it looks. Is I'm just not a fan that this piece sticking out of it. That's why I keep it clean. But if you want to shave it, you can shave it, but whether your hands are sweat or not, no matter how you've been feeling to turn it, it can be hard to turn somehow. So that's why you have to need the little thing to turn it easier. So anyways, there you have LupinKaiser set, and it's not. I mean, I like the way this thing looks, but it can be problems as the DX version because how boring it looks. Because you can get more articulation than the DX version is because the DX version can be boring more than LupinKaiser, but both of them can have problems for somehow. Only you can move the arms quite a bit on the DX version, except probably the in and out doesn't have the best. I mean, the in and out, I don't think the DX version can do that for in and out for like this, but for Mini-Pla version it can go in and out, but the problem is that on mine it's really tight, so I'm not sure if I could pry it out to make it loose or something, but I'm not very intelligent or professional toy fixer to fix this guy. But I like LupinKaiser. I like the Candy Toy quite a bit, but it's not that great because on my stickers, some stickers can be peeling off easier, but I don't think like it will be the best looking to do. If you ever just love LupinKaiser, I mean, if you want to get it, I mean, don't buy LupinKaiser. Just only depends if you're like displaying or like if you're like if you ever just ever wanted it, and if you think it's fun to do as I am been doing, I am having so much fun building the candy toy figure and all that for somehow it's not like it's pretty like fun to do, but it gives you like a lot of like how should I say, I don't have something that can explain you specifically that was the problem of LupinKaiser set. And also it likes to like lean down. It's supposed to like bring it up somehow, so if you can do that. Yeah, I mean, I like LupinKaiser. It has many articulations, more than the DX versions, but both of them have problems on that, so LupinKaiser is pretty amazing. I really like him, but it's not the best thing of them all. Oh, one thing to know that for a good striker, it used to be this for the Ghost Striker mode of the car, and then you're supposed to like fold this out if you're combining to LupinKaiser. That's you're supposed to have like mostly red. So that's another thing of it. So, and also another problem is that it's very hard to see if you're about to like close look of LupinKaiser, and if you're like farther, you could see it, but it's not like the best to show off how he looks. And he has a cockpit that's pointing down. That's not a problem for both of them, both versions of the DX versions and the Candy Toy versions. And yeah, I mean, it has many articulations, so maybe I could show you some pulsable, but it's kind of a bit like bit challenge to do. That's why you have the ankle movements in case if you're about to fall. So this is the best part this is the best part part that I could try my best. This is the only thing, this is the only posable that I'm trying my best to show you how it can go. So it's pretty good figure. I kind of like this figure. Don't play with them too much, because probably you might have a little tiny problems for this guy. But the DX versions, don't buy the DX versions of LupinKaiser, because it's kind of look boring how it looks, because it's only moving articulation of the arms and nothing like I've been showing you. So anyways, so thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you already done it, and comment and share it out. So I will see you next time. Bye. One thing I forgot to talk about, like for the red Dio fighter, that you turn the Dio in and then it opens until it shows the gimmick of the canyon right here that you can see. So like I will show you that earlier kinda, and I forgot to show you the gimmick that you should turn the Dio fighter until it shows you somewhat that can turn, that it might bring this down, and it's supposed to like leave it up, and then have a little blaster like a canyon that can fire it up, go like somewhat like that, yeah. But it's kind of okay. It's kind of fun, but it's not that my best looking as I might see. So that's the blue one. And now for the yellow, I forgot to talk about that. The same thing, that you turn it all around kinda, and then bring this down, and then bring this down, and I have a little saw blade that I can just slice it up kinda. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best gimmick, but they do it in the same thing as the DX version. So yeah, that's what I've been forgot to show you about it. These three of the gimmicks. So yeah, toodles. Bye. Ciao.